Good evening and welcome to the evening news. I am Kayode Adebayo. The federal government's 2022 consolidated financial statement has been delayed due to difficulties reconciling the Consolidated Revenue Fund bank statement with the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Oluwatoyin Maden, revealed this during an oversight visit by the House of Representatives Committee on Public Account to the Treasury House in Abuja. According to a press release by the Director of Press at the Office of the Accountant General, Maden stated that since assuming office in May 2023, the government had successfully prepared and audited its financial statements up to December 31st last year. She added that the 2020 and 2021 consolidated financial statement had been completed and audited in collaboration with the Auditor General of the Federation, while efforts were ongoing for the 2022 accounts. Maden also highlighted measures to address Nigeria's revenue challenges, emphasizing aggressive revenue drives that improved funding for personnel cost, overheads, and capital projects in 2024. She mentioned proposed enhancement to the government integrated financial management information system and integrated payroll and personnel information system to bolster financial management with the support of the National Assembly. A dedicated unit is now in place in the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation to handle direct disbursement of funds to the 774 local governments across the country as the planned financial autonomy for the third tier of government takes effect this month. The first meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee for this year has been scheduled for next week, with operational details for direct fund allocations to the local government expected to feature prominently. Sources at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation said the necessary structures and processes for the new dispensation were ready to ensure a seamless implementation. The source said the Finance Minister and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, had earlier given approval for the direct fund allocation, noting that there is no challenge to carry out the approval from the Minister to start making the disbursement to the local government areas. It was gathered that the Interministerial Committee will address the actions of some governors attempting to undermine the autonomy of democratically elected local government chairmen, deputies, and councillors. Sources at the Federal Ministry of Justice said separately that the committee set up by President Bola Tinubu to implement the Supreme Court judgment was working around the clock to deliver on its assignment. Key players in the Nigerian judicial system have scored the courts, lawyers, and the government low over the prolonged trial of some former state governors, ministers, and other Nigerians for acts of corruption several years after they were arraigned in courts. Speaking with newsmen on the issue, the Director of Justice and Human Rights Reforms Initiatives, David Babajide, and a professor of law, Ernest Ojukwu-San, criticized lawyers for significantly contributing to delays in the prosecuting criminal cases in the court. They expressed sadness at the failure of the Nigerian criminal justice system to indeed dispense fair and timely justice, as they accused some of the country's senior lawyers of facilitating corruption by undermining the prosecution of the corrupt individuals. The duo called on the Nigerian Bar Association to investigate and discipline ethically challenged lawyers found to be involved in manipulating the judiciary. Recall that in some cases, the prosecution of the former elected officials, especially state chief executives, by the anti-corruption agencies have lasted for more than a decade without any hope of deciding their fate in the near future. There are also others whose cases are still pending in court but have been elected into the National Assembly or serving as cabinet members in the current administration, while a reasonable number of the accused have died without the cases of alleged corruption brought against them concluded in any court of law. Nigerian military personnel have been explicitly banned from engaging in homosexuality, lesbianism, bestiality, cross-dressing, and other activities considered against the ethics of the armed forces. Service members are also prohibited from body piercing, tattooing, disorderly conduct, drunkenness on or off duty, and amorous relationship with subordinates or their spouses. These directives are outlined in Section 26 of the revised Harmonized Armed Forces Terms and Conditions of Service approved by President Bola Tinubu on December last year. The rules extend to financial and legal obligations requiring officers to pay dues, such as vehicle licenses and insurance, promptly, as failing to meet the obligations of issuing due checks is classified as a serious offense. The document further cautions that misuse of government resources or actions likely to discredit the armed forces are strictly forbidden, but without disclosing the specific disciplinary measures for violating the rules. Several people were reportedly killed in an airstrike in Kakindawa village, Maradon local government area of Zamfara State. A resident of the area, Garba Umar, told newsmen that the incident occurred as the local vigilantes were heading to assist neighbors in Tugankara village, which had come under attack by bandits. According to him, the vigilante group mobilized after receiving reports of bandits rustling livestock and attempting to abduct villagers. He alleged that 16 people, including his own son, were killed in the airstrike. Reacting to the incident, the spokesperson for Operation Fasan Yama, Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, said he will investigate the matter and provide further details. It will be recalled that the Nigerian Air Force said airstrikes conducted in Zamfara State killed numerous bandits, including key loyalists of the notorious bandit leaders Dan Ishuhu and Dogo Sule, and the notorious terrorist leader Sani Rusu, and scores of his foot soldiers during a gunfight in Bamamo village, Save local government area of the state. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Alhaji Mahmood Adesina, has been turbaned as the first Wasiru Muslimin of Ifon Osun. The new Wasiru pledged his continuous support for the promotion of Islam by making the Quran and the Hadith his guiding principles. The epoch-making event held at the Olufon's Palace Yard brought together dignitaries from far and near, including notable Islamic scholars from across the country, leaders of Islamic organizations, traditional rulers, political leaders, families, friends, and well-wishers. In his remarks, Olufon of Ifon-Orulu Kingdom, Oba Peter Ipadeola Akinyoye III, expressed appreciation to the sons and daughters of Ifon-Orulu for their support towards the throne and in the development of the town, as the people have remained united despite their religious differences. He admonished the newly turbaned Wasiru to continue to uphold the tenet of Islam, which is a religion of peace. In his lecture at the event, the guest speaker, Sheikh Imran Abdulmajid Eleha, explained that the position of Wasiru comes with enormous responsibilities and a call to service. He encouraged the Wasiru to use his new position for the unification of all the Islamic sects in the southwest. There were goodwill messages from the former governor of Osun State and former Minister of Interior, Beni Rao Faregbeshola, the former governor of Zamfara State, Alhaji Sani Yerima, and the chairman of the day, and Alhaji Awa Ibrahim, among others. Now to sport. The stage is set for an intense CAF Champions League encounter between MC Algiers and TP Mazembe as both teams gear up for their group stage mate. The game scheduled for January 10 has generated significant excitement, with fans already lining up to purchase tickets for the anticipated showdown. Speaking ahead of the match, MCA head coach Khalid Ben Yahya emphasized the importance of securing victory to solidify the team's position in the championship. However, TP Mazembe head coach Lamin Diaye acknowledged the challenges of the fixture but remained optimistic about his team's chances. The match holds significant stakes for both teams, with MCA aiming to leverage on their home advantage to climb further in the standings, while TP Mazembe seeks to keep their campaign alive with an away win. The passionate fan base of MC Algiers is expected to create a charged atmosphere at the stadium, providing a boost to the home side. Meanwhile, TP Mazembe will rely on their experience and resilience in continental competitions to challenge the host. Now, on the foreign scene, the French government has handed over its detachment camp in the city of Abeche to Chad. Chadian Minister of Defense, his delegation, and French officials participated in the ceremony. However, for the French military, the result of many years of presence in northern Chad has been strengthened through strong ties, not only with the Chadian soldiers, but also with the local population. The Minister of Defense, Isaka Mourad Jamouz, who congratulated the decision, still reminded everyone that the deadline for the departure of French troops remained January 31st this year. Abeche, a city in northern Chad, has been known for years for its hostility to the presence of the French base. Demonstrations calling for the departure of the base have always occurred in the city, even though they were violently suppressed by the Chadian regime in the past 2 days before the departure. Columns of trucks loaded with containers and heavy equipment were seen heading to N'Djamena. Some of the equipment will transit through Cameroon to be shipped by sea to France. And that ends the evening news on OSBC TV. Please join us at 7 for Dateline. Good evening.
ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń ṣàbójútó ètò ìnáwó àti àlàálẹ̀ rẹ̀ FSRCC àti àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú àjọ tó ń ṣàkóso ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ NBC ń lo àǹfààní yìí láti pe àkíyèsí aráàlú sí ìkọminú wọn nípa ìtànkálẹ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣòwò ìyánilówó lọ́nà àìbófinmu IFOs èyí tó ń ṣàkóbá fún ìnígbẹ́kẹ̀lé àti ìdúróṣinṣin ẹ̀ka tó ń ṣàkóso ètò owó níná nílẹ̀ yìí. àwa ń fèyí gbà yín nímọ̀ràn pé kẹ́ ẹ yẹra fún ìbáṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú èyíkéyìí nínú àwọn ayédèrú ayánilówó yìí. ẹ ṣe ìwádìí ipò tí ìwé ìforúkọsílẹ̀ irú ilé iṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wà lórí àwọn alátagbà yìí. www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nacom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng láti ṣàfihàn àwọn afurasí ayédèrú ayánilówó yìí. ẹ pè 08176657060, 0707-338-4828. ẹ pè sec sórí 0209-462-1168. olùkéde FSRCC.